Loot boxes might be one of the most controversial features ever added into video games. However, in hindsight, in retrospect, were we too harsh on loot boxes? At least to the system we have today. There's really two different kinds of loot boxes. There's ones that lock gameplay elements behind them, and there's others that just have cosmetics. The gameplay elements, when they were locked behind loot boxes, it absolutely sucked. I mean, look at Black Ops 3 pre-contracts, when you could only get the weapons out of loot boxes. And those loot boxes, it's not like you were earning that many per week. You were earning maybe 5 a week, and otherwise you had to buy it. And for a $60 game, having weapons behind a loot box was completely unacceptable. Then you also had Gobblegums, which is pay to win, because the more you buy, the more Gobblegums you have, the better chance you have at getting better ones, and the game becomes easier because you have the better Gobblegums and you have more of them to use. The problem started to fix itself around Infinite Warfare when you earned salvage, and you could use the salvage to buy any of the weapon variants that you wanted, so it was going in a step in the right direction for a little bit. Cosmetic loot boxes, I think, are completely fine because it actually gave us a way to earn gear in-game just by playing the game. Or nowadays, if there's a set of armor in the shop, or if there's a skin you want in the shop, the only possible way to get it is if you buy it with real money. So $20, $25 for a single skin, which is a lot compared to the loot boxes, of which if you see armor set that you like, well, if you play the game enough, you'll probably unlock it because of how many loot boxes you're getting a week. You're grinding out the game, so you're going to eventually get it. That's what happened with me in Halo 5. I got every armor set out of just playing the game, out of getting loot boxes. And now if you go to Halo Infinite and there's an armor set that you want, well, tough luck. If you don't have the $20 to spend, or if it's on the battle pass, you're not getting it. Being a completionist now in games is next to impossible because you can't earn the gear in-game. You have to buy it, and the only earnable gear in-game is through a battle pass, which you also have to buy. There's almost no gear in games anymore that you could just earn by playing and through achievement. However, Overwatch 2 just added in loot boxes back, and you can't buy them, you could only earn them, but it gives us a sense of progression. When you could earn loot boxes, it is progression because you are getting more gear than you previously had, especially when there's no duplicates and you're only getting new things. And really, that's a system I hope more games incorporate, where there is loot boxes and they're only earnable. You can't buy them, but they're only earnable, and it gives you another sense of progression, because I feel like nowadays in games especially, there is a very, very lack of any kind of progression besides just seeing your XP bar go up. Loot boxes give you something to earn, like, ooh, there's this really cool Soldier 76 skin, hopefully I get it, and then you do get it. And you got it just through playing the game. You didn't have to go in the shop and spend $20. You got it for free just because you played the game enough to earn those loot boxes, and you eventually got what you wanted. Especially when there's a system in place that prevents duplicates. I think there is definitely a place in modern gaming and gaming in general for loot boxes. Whether it's being paid for or just fully being earned, I feel like they could easily coexist with battle passes. They don't have to be just exclusive. But when you get that option that you can just earn loot boxes through progression, then why would you buy any of the shop skins when you could possibly just get it through a loot box, which then companies would make less money because there's a chance that you could earn it for free instead of having to buy it. So I don't think free loot boxes are really going to become mainstream. I think it's going to be like a dime a dozen, but I do hope they catch on with more games. Progression loot boxes that progress gameplay, definitely had to go. That was a horrible system. Your gameplay experience should not be determined by luck. I mean, look at the Battlefront 2 launch and how disastrous that was. I mean, it took a while for the game to ever recover. It did eventually and had a great comeback, but I mean, the launch of that game damaged its perception so badly that it took years to be seen in a positive light by the public. Even with all the free updates, even with all the content updates, it took so much rebuilding just because of how bad the loot boxes were in that game. And it had laws made against loot boxes. Those loot boxes were so bad in Battlefront 2 that it had laws made in countries banning loot boxes and regulating them. There is definitely pros and cons to the loot boxes and Season Pass era compared to the Battle Pass and Shop Skin era. I definitely feel like it was kind of cheaper back in the day if you wanted more cosmetics, but it's kind of cheaper today if you just want to play the game. So really it's about picking your poison. I definitely think both systems can coexist. Again, it just takes time. We'll see where we're at in gaming in 10 years. Battle Passes are still the new normal. Or if we moved on to a whole different system that isn't Battle Passes or isn't loot boxes. Which system do you think was better? Loot boxes, battle passes, season passes, market skins? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content I am making. See ya.